Good morning. It's Sunday morning. Unfortunately, I'm not heading out to Port Church. I'm preparing to head out to Port Church today. I have a church that's in need with some sound, so I'm preparing to go do that. I'm praying for my brothers and sisters over in Port. We miss them constantly. It's a good community, a good family, good church. When they see God and where you see God, you will find Him. So continue eating that meat and learning what God's plan for you is in life. I woke up this morning for some reason thinking of a story that was mentioned in Matthew and in Mark regarding a young boy who was possessed. He threw himself into the fire. He threw himself into the fire. He threw himself into the water. And I thought about that. I thought about what Jesus said. We're going to get back to that. Let's go all the way back in the Old Testament. And I'm sure there's other stories that will point or lead us in this direction. But let's look at Moses standing in front of a burning bush, standing before God on holy ground, saying, God, I can't do what you want me to do. I don't believe I'm capable. He didn't believe that he was able to do it. My speech, the way I speak, whatever reasons he was giving God. And God said, okay, I'm going to send you a helper. Take your brother Aaron. He will be your voice. That's funny how Moses needed help. God gave him help, Aaron, a helper, to help perform these miracles, to help free God's people, the Israelites, from Egypt, and bring them into the desert. If you go on to see what's going on with Aaron and Moses, and the tribes are formed, and the firstborn of the families are set aside, and the tribe of Levite, which is not a tribe at all, God's chosen, or God's people, Aaron becomes basically sort of the founder and leader of that. Essentially, either appointing or being himself, I'm not sure, the high priest of the Levites for the tribes. You can read into that, and this is basically just an opinion of something that came my way this morning. So I'm trying to share it because I think it's very important. So keep that picture in your mind. Moses asked, God sends him a helper. Obviously they believed. They performed many miracles. Many things happened in Egypt in regards between the believer and the unbeliever, so to speak. Now let's go up into Matthew or Mark, or wherever you're reading the story, and see Jesus. A father comes to Jesus and says, hey, your disciples are trying to help my boy, but they're not able to do so. Why not? Well, he said basically because of unbelief. He says, well, help my unbelief. We know the story goes on. Jesus casts the demon out, and the boy is set free. Such a quick, fast moment. In no time at all. After they clear, disciples go to Jesus in private and say, why were we unable to cast out this demon from this boy? He said, oh, you with little faith. How long am I going to be with you? Matthew talks about faith like a mustard seed. Continues to talk about faith, right? And he says, this type requires much prayer and fasting, depending on the tradition, on the translation you're reading. We know that Jesus prayed and fasted continuously. Almost every time you turn around, you see he was going off into the wilderness, or going off into the mountain, or going off somewhere. Praying, it says. Yet when he acted according to God, he spoke. And it happened very quickly. He wasn't saying that to get rid of a demon in a person, or this particular demon, you have to pray and fast. I believe it was the other way around. I believe he was talking to the disciples at that time regarding their lack of faith and unbelief. Dealing with himself. Moses was having a problem dealing with himself. Not with the capabilities he had through God, but dealing with himself. So he sent him a helper. We know that Jesus said, I'm going to talk to the Father. I'm going to ask him to send you a helper. So why is it that we can't walk in the way that we're supposed to, or the way that it seems that Jesus walked, when he tells us to do that very thing? It's because of our unbelief, because of our lack of faith. This is just, like I said, an opinion. God always sends us a helper. Beginning of time, we see helpers being sent. All the way as far as when dealing with our own sin, our own demons. Jesus said, God said, look, if you're doing it right, what do you have to worry? But if you're not, Satan's crouching at your door. You can flee from that. I hope this is helpful to somebody. Moses, Aaron becoming basically the priesthood of of Israel. God sending and talking to Moses consistently. We see how much Aaron messed up. We see Moses mess up. We see everything that happens in regards. So Aaron, the helper for Moses, became, I'm not sure if he became the high priest, but he became the priesthood of Israel. Jesus telling us how long is he going to be with us. If you had faith like a mustard seed. And telling us he's going to send a helper to help us get through this. The only thing he didn't change was our prayer and our prayer and our fasting when it comes to dealing with faith. Dealing with our fleshly body, our sinful self, our flesh, whatever we want to call it. He's saying, you need to pray and fast, or you surely won't be able to do any of this. I think that's all I got for you today. Love you all. We're all together in spirit. God love. Bye.